Some of you guys are going to get heavy in the gym. You're going to start running a scalable business, and you're going to notice that the less you make women a priority, the more they're just going to want to come into your life. But if you ask women the question, they're going to tell you that that's bad advice.
I really like reducing things down to the lowest possible level of simplicity. The first one that I came up with was this one. You can only have two. If you want the government to guarantee equal pay, and you want for men to have so much more money than you that they can give you experiences you can't give yourself, then men are going to collect a lot of women. Because if men are making more money than you, then women can find men who make more money than them. If you're making equal, but you still want superior men, then you're going to be all chasing after a few guys. There isn't any way to organize society where you get all three things. If you have these, diversity laws that just place women in jobs and in college, and what is it, 60% of college is women now? It's more than
Right now,
that.
68% graduate, I believe, undergrad, but 60% enrollment. Yes. Meaning men are still enrolling at 40% and then dropping out.
Right. For whatever reasons, that's another
Yes.
whole discussion. And it's artificial. If you had an equal playing field and you had everybody gets the same rules, men are naturally going to work harder because that's just the lifestyle that it is to be a man. They're going to work harder and earn more rewards. What we have is, and I need to flesh this out a lot. People keep asking me for examples of this, and I'm like, how do you not know? So I'm going to have to actually do research and list it all. But the government is redistributing the rewards, and it's artificial, and then it creates an environment in which women are just not attracted to the men that they would have been attracted to. They look at them and they go, well, why do I need you if you don't make more money than me? Then they're fighting over the same few guys and they go, where have all the good men gone? It's like, you fired them.
Yeah, do you guys understand? If you can show the triangle again one more time. I just want to make sure everybody understands this because it's so genius, right? So the top one is equality. So it's fine. Men and women want equality. I think what I would want is for everyone to have the ability to make the same amount of money and not have things come in their way, but they don't need to have equal pay, right? It's not a quality of outcomes. There's nothing in the US Constitution that is about equality of outcomes. It's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You are not guaranteed happiness. You're
Not
guaranteed the pursuit of happiness. That's where civil rights legislation comes from, because you are infringing on people's pursuit of happiness based on their skin color. What women wanted was equality of outcomes and not equality of competition, right? And so because they want equality, at the same time, their genetics wants, and this is the dollar sign on the bottom right here, they want a man who makes more than them. So I wanted equality of outcomes, but I still want a man who makes more than them. So if I do that, then I'm only choosing from a small number of men. Again, 17% of men make over $100,000 a year. But I need a man to make more than me. And there's actually studies that show this. It's about 1.68 to 1. So if I make if I'm a female, I make $100,000 a year. I want a man who makes about $168,000 a year. That's about on average what they want. So the first part is cultural. The second part on the bottom right there, that is genetic. Women want men who are bigger, taller, stronger than them and make more money. The part on the bottom left that's very frustrating is also genetic, is that those men at the top now are going to have 5, 10, 20 women. They're going to have women pursuing them, because even in this egalitarian society, they still make more money than most people. And so they're going to have a lot of women. So that's the problem, is that you can't have all three. You can't have men not having a lot of women and equality, and you still want men to make more money than you. And that's what you're showing in this engineering triangle. And I think it's genius. Don't you have a new one? You have another one?
I did a few. There's number two. The one that I did for men was, if you want action right away and you don't want to commit, then you can't complain about women having high body counts.
Yeah.
If you want a society where you're not committing to someone who you want to have sex with right away, then relationships are not always going to work out, because not everyone is compatible. So everyone's going to rack up the numbers. You can't complain about that. So men will say they want all three of those things. Oh, I'm not ready to commit. I don't want to wait a month to get to know you. And if you've been with 10 guys, you're not worth dating. You can't. Physical reality doesn't allow for that.
Yeah. So the overall promiscuity of society, you can't, if a small group of men are having sex with a lot of women, you can have some women with low body counts. But if all men had the ability to have sex with all the women they could, then when they wanted to settle down, there would be no women left with low body counts. The logic doesn't work out. So yeah, I totally understand with that. And then the other one, I really love this. When we talk about women want attention from men, that they're already attracted to. This is a really huge misunderstanding that a lot of men have, because they'll watch TikToks and women will describe a thing they want. And then you look at who they date, and then you see hybristophilia, where women are like wanting to date serial killers. And it's like, these things don't make sense. And what you're hearing from often, there are a few exceptions. I think Sadia Khan is pretty sharp. Actually, I had Kezia Noble on last week. I think she's pretty sharp. But often what you'll hear from women is they're giving you advice on how to turn on a woman who's already attracted to you, because she cannot conceive of a man she's not attracted to generating attraction in her. But if you've done any kind of study in this space with seduction, manosphere, red pill, pickup, whatever, men can generate attraction. There are triggers to do so, even if women don't believe that those things are real. My girlfriend doesn't believe it's real. My girlfriend legitimately believes I just fell out of the sky and she was just attracted to me, and she thinks that she would have dated me when I was 21, which is of course nonsense. But that's how most women feel about most men. So going back to what I was saying before, it's when women are giving this advice. For those of you, remember we talked about short-term versus long-term and how that's confusing. This is another thing where a lot of guys get very confused. And this is the concept where you listen to a woman's advice. It's not that what she's telling you is deliberately nefarious or negligent. What she's telling you is based on her perception, which is she is telling you what a man, so when a girl goes, express yourself and get out of the friend zone, which is of course terrible advice. Or she's like, take her flowers to work. Yes, if Tom Brady or Leonardo DiCaprio take a woman flowers to work, that can actually work well for them because their status is so outrageously high. For a man you're already attracted to, it works. But if it's for a man you're not already attracted to, it gets confusing.
If she doesn't already like you or wouldn't like you right away, and you put in that level of effort, the best that you're going to get to is the friend zone. She's going to say, oh, he's so nice and I like having him around. Usually when guys try to make that kind of effort and they're not physically attractive or emotionally attractive to women, they end up in the creep zone over here, where it's like, ugh, please don't buy me flowers. Please don't give me that attention. It makes me feel bad. Women will tell you that these are the things that make them like you because they're not paying attention to these things. They're thinking of the guys that I feel good about physically and in their competence and confidence. I want them to do this. They're not thinking about guys who might be short or frumpy or not that good at making money or whatever. They're just not considering them. That women will not tell you how to get out of that pit and be attractive anyway, so that they will value these things. That's the worst part of dating for men, is that when they look for advice, all they get is be nice, do these nice things. And then it doesn't turn women on. It can make them appreciate you like a brother, but it doesn't make them want you. There's a whole other set of things to do for that.
So this is the new one, because we were talking about good guy traits and bad guy traits. Is it? So is this like the new?
This is the new one from last week. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, for those of you who don't know, man, you might want to take a screenshot of this. This is so fucking important. So many of you guys come to me and you have no bad boy traits. And the reason why is because you were taught by your church, mommy, and Disney to have good boy traits, and that somehow you are going to, like, if you just stamped the good boy trait card enough, you were going to get one free sex at the end. It's like, use this for one free sexual intercourse. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So attraction is not a choice. The bad boy traits, this is why I said before, I mean, obviously I was being hyperbolic when I said this, but I was like, the more things that you do that women tell you to not do, the more outrageously attractive they become to you. Obviously, to a certain extent, we don't want to
some things.
Some things, but that is the case. It's like the bad boy traits are the thing. When you hear women consistently complaining about a man, I'm not going to turn the muting off, the audio on yet, but if you hear a woman consistently complaining, oh my God, I can't stand this, but you've gone out and hung out with her in a social situation 3 times and she complains about the fuckboy, it's because she's the guy she's complaining about. Listen to me, guys, one more time. I need you to hear this. When she's consistently complaining about the temperament of the guys that she's talking about, it's because she's fucking him. And she's complaining to you about this, and she's not fucking you. One more time. Pay it. Some of you guys, some alarm bells and some lights are going off now. First time you're kind of coming to this realization. Write it in the chat if you guys know the answer. Ready? If a woman is consistently, emphatically expressing to you, I would never fuck a guy on the first date. I would never fuck it. Why is she saying she would never fuck a guy on the first date? Put it in the chat, guys. Why is a woman screaming to you, I can't believe I would never fuck a guy? Because she has guys on the first date. Got it?
Yep.
You guys understand? There's a lot of people, dude. There's 7.8 billion people on this planet. There's a lot of them. I'm not going to. Do you know what I'm going to say about them? Nothing. If I'm not going to sleep with somebody, I'm not going to talk about them. That's the way it works. But why do women talk about it? It's because their emotions are not in alignment with their actions. And that's the reason why you get some of these comments. And so again, going back to this type of situation, some of you guys are going to get heavy in the gym. You're going to start running a scalable business. And you're going to notice that the less you make women a priority, the more they're just going to want to come into your life. But if you ask women the question, they're going to tell you that that's bad advice. They're going to tell you things like flowers and expressing your feelings and all this kind of stuff. And it just doesn't make any sense. And then they're going to complain about men with multiple women. Then one day, if you're lucky, you're going to become one of those men with multiple women. And then I'm not for your whole life, but I think you should have a period of your life where you do have some level of abundance. And when you do that, you're going to notice, wait a second, these women who were complaining about what I was doing literally complained right before they had sex with me.
Yep.
And then that's when you get into the understanding of, that's when the realization will happen for you, and you understand the difference between bad boy traits and good boy traits.